am so happy to be back to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, considering I've been reading hit or miss romances. This was a hit. This book was a hit. I'm very happy to say. The one thing I rated it 4 stars. Um, it just didn't feel like a 5 stars. So I rated 4 stars. But the one thing I said on my Goodreads review for this was, all the chaos I needed, somehow expertly written in 250 pages. It was amazing. I borrowed it from my library. It was great. So, before we start the review, I want to please remind you to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content, as well as give the video a like if you enjoyed it. So if you enjoy my content, definitely consider subscribing. I post Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way when you wake up, you definitely have something to watch. And another thing to consider is subscribing to my blog, which is in the description. I share reviews there, but I also share my creative writing. I talk a lot about my writing on Wednesdays through writing vlogs, and I talk about how my fantasy projects are going and how the writing process is going on, all that stuff. And you can definitely take a look at my writing and let me know what you think about it. So yeah, consider subscribing to those places. And now let's get on with the review by talking about the synopsis of The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. I also want to mention that I read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in September of 2021, and now I read The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. You do not have to read or reread, I would say reread, because I didn't reread it. So you don't have to, if you've spent a long time, or at least some time away from the Hitchhiker world, you don't necessarily have to go back to read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I actually considered rereading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy before reading The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, because the book, if I remember correctly, ended with them going like, okay, like, are you hungry? Yeah, okay, let's go to the restaurant at the end of the universe. So I actually did consider rereading the book to kind of remind myself, but there is a chapter where it catches you up on the story, so you don't really need to reread it if you've read it before. And that's all I got for you. Anyway, let us continue. Facing annihilation at the hands of the warlike Volgans is a curious time to have a cosmetically displaced Arthur Dent and his curious comrades in arms as they hurtle through space powered by pure improbability and desperately in search of a place to eat. Among Arthur's motley shipmates are Ford Prefect, a longtime friend and contributor to the Hitchhiker. Wait, what? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Zaphod Beeblebrox, the three-armed, two-headed ex-president of the galaxy. Oh, sorry. Tricia Macmillan, a fellow Earth refugee, I think refugee, who's gone native to her name is Trillion now. Wait, it says. Wait, who's gone native? Her name is Trillion now, and Marvin, who suffers nothing and no one gladly. I love Marvin as a robot. Okay, this is a thing at the end. So that is what we have. That is the synopsis we have. So this book, basically, we just follow. It has a similar things to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We have a lot of head hopping. We definitely have some head hopping. We have we have these random chapters of also like information and all that stuff. The writing is very similar. The pacing, everything you kind of expect from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know, it's kind of fast yet slow at the same time. It has a lot of not everything is going to not everything that happens is going to make sense. Well, it does in this world, but I mean that not everything that happens is necessarily drawn by a plot. Like there is a slight plot, but barely. The plot, again, kind of like in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, really doesn't have much to do with really doesn't have much to do uh, with the bigger part of the story. A lot of this is just the characters getting into like wacky situations and seeing what happens. And I love it. I'm here for it. That is amazing. Again, this is all the chaos I truly needed. It was a good. It's good. It's cool. I'm in for it because chaos is cool. Okay, chaos is just fun, and it is great to see a book that doesn't necessarily focus so much on plot and it just focuses on random things. I don't remember if I mentioned this in the Hitchhiker's review. By the way, if you want to watch it, I don't think you can watch it after this if you want, or you can watch it before, but I will have the Hitchhiker's review, the first Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy review that I have. I will have it here. I will have it, but I don't think it's necessary for you to kind of you don't need there's no preference for you to watch it. I think we're good. But what I want to say is I don't know if I mentioned this, but reading these books is kind of like watching slice of life anime, but like in book form. It is amazing with that. It's cool to see the way that it kind of writes itself. And the interesting part is that all this stuff is happening, and at the end, it kind of makes sense in a really weird way. It makes sense. And the restaurant that they end up going to, I love how weird it is. You basically like travel in time to get there. It's so cool and weird, and I love the guy that's basically trying to escape taxes. Now that is funny. That is so funny that they're like, I just want to escape taxes, so I'm gonna I'm gonna pretend that I'm dead. I thought that was cool. That was amazing. I love it. It's just um it's just really interesting how it all kind of like ties up at the end. I really did enjoy the ending, and I love how they're trying to figure out the question, like the question of life. And the apparently, like in the last book, the answer that Deep Thought gave was basically, I think I think it was Deep Thought or one of the computers reached it. It was like it says that the answer was like 42, and it was really interesting and really funny because at the end it still doesn't make any sense, but you also know that there was definitely an incident, and they definitely traveled back in time, and we met the ancestors of Earth. And wow, it was interesting to see that there's definitely a little bit of commentary on how humans kind of tear the world apart and not be the best citizens of Earth. And they'll mess it up. And they're like 2 million years in the past, and it's very interesting because that's what happens by the end. They're like 2 million years in the past, and my thought is, what's gonna happen in the next book? What other shenanigans are y'all gonna get into? Because I like the shenanigans. I'm here for them. I love them. I love them. Bring them up for me. I'm okay with it. So those are the things I wanted to say. The characters are great. It was cool to be back here. It was cool to kind of experience it. I definitely needed it because I was reading. I don't remember what book I was reading, but I was definitely getting into a reading slump, and this book helped get me out of it. So thank you, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. That is my review. I loved it. The chaos is good. And the characters are front and center, and I love them. So next week I will be back to review I'm going to actually go back to another series I was reviewing in the channel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I will finally be reviewing Stardust Crusaders. I will explain in the video why it took me so long to get to the review. I promise, I'll be explaining. But yeah, That's all I can tell you. Let me know in the comment section if you have read The Restaurant at the End of the Universe or any of the Hitchhiker books, and what do you think of them? Do you enjoy them? Do you not? This is kind of like, I think this would count as absurdism kind of writing, I think, but I'm not sure because it's kind of everything that happens is just absurd and chaotic, and it's like it's kind of like the comedy section of sci-fi, and it's good. It's cool. I love it. But before you go, leave a like on the video, comment down below, all this stuff to engage the algorithm, and consider subscribing to my channel. I post Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays usually, and other times a week I have bonus videos, but usually Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday are the days to look forward to. I post at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way you have something to watch when you wake up. Also consider subscribing to my blog, which will be in the description. I do talk a lot about my writing, specifically on Wednesdays through these writing vlogs where I talk about my my fantasy projects and how those are going, and how that's going out for me, and everything in that area. So if you want to see my writing and judge it for yourself, you can definitely find it in my blog. I share my creative work and I share reviews, so you can decide what you want to read as well, which is great. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Until then, consume stories. Bye.